Hey, what's happening? Today we're going to discuss some of my theology. We're going to go over 10 of the principles that I actually live by. And I actually gained these principles from the master himself, Bruce Lee. Now, with that being said, these principles are, in fact, the principles that if you start to live your life by these, it actually does change. It doesn't change overnight and it don't come easy, but it does change and you start to live a more fulfilled life. So without further ado, we're gonna get right into it and I will holla right back at you. Actually, I'm gonna pop in and out here and explain a little bit about myself and my aspect on each one of these theories. So, like I said, without further ado,
some of his most profound insights, which, if you give them the attention they deserve, will help awaken your inner warrior. That is, the fighting spirit that will guide you through any hardship in life. So without further ado, let's jump right into them. 1. Be like water. According to Bruce Lee, life is in constant change, and unless we learn to adapt to it, we are bound to experience tremendous resistance that will entrap us in a state of suffering. Having been deeply influenced by the philosophy of Taoism, especially by the teachings of the semi-legendary Chinese sage Lao Tzu, Bruce Lee likened the person who has learned to embrace change to water. Here's a small clip from an interview Bruce gave on live TV in 1971, where he's sharing his thoughts on the matter.
Empty your mind. Be formless, shapeless, like water. Now you put water into a cup, it becomes the cup. You put water into a bottle, it becomes the bottle. You put in a teapot, it becomes the teapot. Now water can flow or it can crash. Be water, my friend.
and Master Lee is the entire reason why I went on my quest. Because I want to be formless. I want to be shapeless. I want to flow like water. And in order for me to do so, I needed to know the truth. And that's why I studied every single one of the holy books. I read them all, including the Tao Te Ching by Lao Tzu, the same gentleman that Bruce Lee mentions here in this video that he's going to be mentioning here shortly. I read that whole text also. I read it all. And the information that I've gathered after reading all of those texts, it's like Bruce Lee says. And this is actually going to be talked about in this video. When you're pointing your finger towards the moon, don't pay attention to the finger or else you will miss all of its heavenly glory. This is why I do not practice any structured religion. Yes, I do believe in the Creator. Yes, I have a direct tap to the Creator. But at the same time, I do not practice any kind of dogma. I removed all dogma from my life. And in doing so, humbled myself to the point to where I can live as a minimalist if necessary. but I still enjoy the comforts that comes with life. Let's continue.
People tend to think of water as a symbol of weakness. Far from that, Bruce Lee regarded water as the ultimate symbol of strength. In his own words, "Be like water because it is soft, resilient, and formless. It can never be snapped." Water is soft yet stronger than anything else in existence. That's because of its ability to elude, adapt, and move with the nature of things. By doing so, it conquers all without fighting. This insight is well illustrated by a scene from Bruce Lee's phenomenal movie Enter the Dragon. Let's have a look at it.
Do I bother you? Don't waste yourself.
What's your style?
My style? You can call it the art of fighting without fighting.
The art of fighting without fighting? Show me some of it.
Later. All right. Don't you think we need more room?
Where else?
That island, on the beach. We can take this boat.
Okay. Hey, what the hell are you doing? Hey, are you crazy?
Don't try to pull yourself up,
Get me out of
or
this.
I'll let go the line.
What's the matter with you kids? Come on, pull. Bruce, they'll help you out.
Just like water, we can learn to overcome any obstacle we find on our path, not by fighting against it, but by embracing it, moving along with it, and silently conquering it with the least effort on our part.
And that's where I segue back in. Real quick, guys. I want to say thank you to all my subscribers, all my new subscribers, all my old subscribers. If you're just joining the family, welcome. My name is Mr. Smooth. I am the owner of True Life Street Combat, and I am a motivational speaker. I am a ordained minister. I am a clothing designer and the owner of a nonprofit organization. If you like what you see in these videos, please push the like button. It does help with the YouTube algorithms to get these videos out to more people like yourself that do need to hear these messages. Now, one more last thing I need to say as a disclosure. I do not own the rights to these videos that's playing right this second, but the messages are still just as valid. So, when it comes to flowing like water, and the reason why I actually live my life this way, and this is how I have been able to obtain the level of success in the short amount of time that I have. Because as obstacles come my way, I slip, I slide, I sidestep, I root, I move around. I either go over it, around it, above it, under it, or through it. That's the Cav way. When I was actually trained to think this way by the military. On top of which, I've been studying Bruce Lee all of my life, and his philosophies and everything that man had in his brain, and it's been fascinating to me my entire life. But when you're able to flow and move in a pattern to where an obstacle can come your way and you can just bounce around that bad boy, that's when success starts to show. I only need to get one more piece of equipment here. And then I'll be able to literally design shirts at the same caliber as Versace. I seen one of his shirts with his vinyl print on it. I know how to replicate that, but I'm not going to. I'm going to do my own designs. You see, since I've started down this path of being a clothing designer, I'm looking at the different clothing designers that are already on the market and what they're doing. And how their stuff looks. As long as I can stay at that level, I will obtain that level of success. It's moving and flowing like water. I just seen a hoodie yesterday that they were selling for $80. It's an Adidas hoodie. No, not Adidas. Polo. It's a polo hoodie. I seen it yesterday. TJ Maxx is selling it for $80. It's made of the same vinyl material that I use for this stuff. So as long as I can stay on that level, designer-wise, I will get and obtain that level. And this is what Bruce Lee is talking about. Flowing like water. Be water, my friends.